All right, let's get it going tonight. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I think it's Tuesday. Live from Raiderland World Headquarters, the daily broadcast brought to you by Impart South Lanes College. A lot of great Red Raiders start off as great Texans. The road to Raiderland runs through Level Land. Find out what they can do for you as a traditional or non-traditional student. Lots of great professional courses as well. Red River Brewing Company in Red River, New Mexico. Check out their website. Check them out on Facebook. Tell them we said, hey, it's just an awesome place. And if you're going up there for 4th of July this week, tell Michael and the staff we said hello from Raiderland. All the communications brought to you by United Supermarkets and Market Street. Get in now. Get all of your 4th of July stuff ready to go. Hot dogs, hamburgers, all that stuff, steaks, charcoal, lighter fluid, everything that you think you're going to forget. Get now. Buy it now. Go today, tonight, tomorrow. Just make sure it happens. All right, let's do the show. Shall we? In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. You start your day every day. Raiderland hot links, questions of the day, everything else. Now, today, Tuesday's best. We continue on talking baseball topics. We're talking greatest first baseman of all time, your favorite first baseman. At any point in your life, how many of you played first base? Probably a lot, right? I mean, probably a lot of you guys played first base. Who did you emulate? Who was your first baseman growing up? Now, if you're my age, you had the growing up first baseman, the when you grew up and kind of, you're the same age as the player's first baseman favorite one. And now that you're older, you got, all right, the current guys that are playing baseball. So I got like 3 different levels to choose from. Some of you are younger. Some of you are older. You might have like 4 levels to choose from. Favorite first baseman of all time. And tell me why it's Jeff Bagwell. Houston Astros. The greatest right-handed batter's stance / swing. The most wicked, violent swing of all time. Jeff Bagwell. We'll give you Jeff Bagwell. All right, so that's talking baseball tonight. We got first baseman tonight. Then it's going to be catchers and pitchers reporting for Wednesday and Thursday. No show on Friday, probably. It's 4th of July. Other topic tonight. Which sports media outlet do you believe covers college football the best? And I didn't put on the slug, and that's the little headline, everything else. Call it a slug. I didn't say national. And I guess it doesn't have to be national. I was intending it that way. So in this age of so many different media outlets, where do you go? Who do you think covers college football the best? We had not a kerfuffle. Is there an F, L, or an L? I don't. Anyways, some people are like freaking out. The Big 12 is not going to have the media do a preseason poll. Well, why do you trust the media? They screw it up. But where do you go? Which media outlets do you go, hey, I really like their coverage? Which ones and why? You tell us tonight. Where do you go to get your college football coverage? Is it ESPN? Is it Fox Sports? Is it Outkick.com? Is it Yahoo Sports? CBSSports.com? Where do you go? The myriad of media outlets that are out there today, which ones do you think provide the best coverage of college sports? Dave Campbell's Texas Football has branched out into covering college football over the last 5, 6, 7 years. I think they're doing a pretty decent job of it. So where do you go? And then finally, and this is when you guys get in purely 100% on the United Supermarkets text line, will you spend over $1,000 on fireworks this year? Yes or no? If not, what's your budget? We threw it out there yesterday. We didn't have time to get to all sorts of different things. I am totally intrigued by the fireworks expenditure budget that people have. Blown away by how much some people spend. And that's fine. That's cool. That's whatever you do. That's your deal. As long as you can afford it, you know. Kids can't eat for 2 months, but by God, we're going to have a hell of a fireworks show. I'm not a fireworks guy. And by that, I mean not buying them, blowing them up myself, whatever. I'll watch a professional show. Grew up doing that in Amarillo. And then we moved to Lubbock and we're like, where's the show? There ain't no show. Oh, well, that's the way it was back in the 80s. Different now with the 4th on Broadway, which have they canceled it yet because it might rain? I'm waiting for that. So give it to me tonight. Which sports media outlets, which national, regional, anything, do you believe covers college football the best? Where do you go? And your favorite first baseman of all time. I give you Jeff Bagwell. I give you Leon Durham with the Chicago Cubs in 1984. I give you Lou Gehrig, Jimmy Fox with the Phillies back in the day. Willie McCovey, Stan the Man Musial. First base has given us so many great players over the years. You have historical greats, you have real-time greats, you have your guys real-time. Rangers fans, who's your favorite first baseman of all time? Greatest, best, favorite first baseman. Either Pete O'Brien. No, not really. Well, okay, yeah, it could be. Astros, you got Bagwell, and then you got a bunch of. That's not true. Actually, there was a man before Bagwell that I hope some erudite Astros fan will throw out at me tonight. Let's do first baseman. Favorite sports media outlets that cover college football. Where do you go? And will you spend over or under $1,000 on fireworks this year? James gives us the thumbs up. We appreciate that. And what he means is everybody watching live right now, or on replay, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Subscribe to our Facebook page, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. And if you're not following us on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media, do that. That is the nicest thing you can do, the best thing you can do. And then go to our sponsors and tell them thanks for being out there. Michael, YouTube channel. Paul Goldschmidt at first when he played for the Diamondbacks. Went to a lot of their games when I lived there, enjoyed watching him play. I couldn't give you like 12 I could not give you more than like 2 or 3 Diamondbacks, not named Randy Johnson, Matt Williams. There you go. That's about it. Diamondbacks. Now, I'm probably the only media person who broadcast a game from Chase Field, home of the Diamondbacks, that was not a baseball game, but a basketball game that got rained out with 4 minutes to play. Lady Raiders, Arizona State, about 2006. We're out there. They're going to set this huge record for fans at Chase Field. And they effed it up on so many levels. First off, they didn't level down the first baseline. So the baseline coming up the right side as you're moving, in front of press row, had a bubble on it. Then they've got a roof, and the one guy whose job was to close the roof didn't get it closed. We got rained out. I'm throwing clothes over my equipment, trying to not get electrocuted. But it was a neat facility. I stole a bunch of baseballs out of the batting cage. Went out there. They had the pool drained. This was in November. But yeah, I'm the only media person I think you guys know that announced a basketball game that got rained freaking out. You can look it up. It's true. Your favorite first baseman of all time, greatest first baseman of all time. Ranger fans, who do you got? You got Will Clark. You got Palmeiro. You got Mike Hargrove. You got Pete O'Brien. You got, where do you go? Your favorite first baseman of all time. Bagwell for the Astros. Bob Watson in the 70s. Mainstay in the 70s for the Astros. Berkman. Glenn Davis in the 80s? Anybody? Glenn Davis? You tell us. Favorite sports media outlets covering college sports, college football. What are those? get in right now on the chat line brought to you by United Supermarkets at Market Street. Back to the comments. D. Wayne on YouTube. I go to Twitter and YouTube to get my football coverage. I really enjoy the independent channels like this one and many of the content creator channels like Locked On and RC Maxfield's channel. Yeah, RC's good people. The Locked On, and for those who don't know, it's a network of college football conferences and teams. You have Locked On Tech, Locked On Big 12, Locked On this, Locked On that. They have strung those together, and that really is, I don't want to call it the new media. It's just the media now. It is a network. And some of them are better than others. Some of them, you go, yeah, kids are trying hard. Some of them you go, hey, you got legit pros. I'll say this, Locked On Texas Tech with Chris Level, good stuff. What's that guy who's on with him? Oh, he's kind of tall and lanky. Thinks he's a cowboy or a rancher. Wears a hat sometimes. I mean, for the longest time when I knew him, if you had him up before, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., that meant he hadn't come home yet. Oh, yeah, Casey Cowan. Great guy. No, Tex Lucky, you've got a really good, I think the Locked On Big 12 channel is good too. We link to it in our morning links. I don't consider them competitors. I don't consider them competitors at all. We do different things. And like D-Wayne is saying, you have this whole other array of media that goes beyond the ESPNs, the Fox Sports, and things like that. Which sports media covers college football the best? Your questions, your comments on that tonight. You tell us. James, I think podcast, let's put that up there. I think podcast and you do a better job at reporting on anything before TV. I would disagree only from this standpoint. I think what we do here, and I can't speak to others, is I try to provide context and depth of meaning and understanding and analysis. I don't break news. I don't chase breaking news. That's not what I do. That's not my thing. And really, anybody who does, I think you're wasting time because with the internet and everything else, everybody has it within like 13 seconds. So what's the point? It's like recruiting news anymore. Anybody that pays for recruiting information, knock yourself out if that's your thing, but you're wasting money. But what we try to do here, what I've tried to turn Raiderland into is my 35, 40 years, somewhere between 35 and 40. We're getting it. Well, okay, not quite 40. That would mean I was 15 years old doing media. Although I go back farther than that in my understanding of tech football. So my context and my ability to maybe put things into a little different lens than maybe some people do within the media. That's what we try to do here. Oh, and we try to have a hell of a lot of fun. Are we having fun? Damn it, this is fun. Have fun, damn it. It's fun. Turn 2. Let's get to Crash Davis. Listen to 365 a lot. Jan, favorite, Steve Garvey and Pedro Guerrero. All right, so Steve Garvey, the first baseman for the Dodgers in the 70s, Padres in 1984 when they beat the Cubs. Hated Steve Garvey then. Loved him with the Dodgers. The greatest forearms of all time. Got into politics over the last 10 years. Don't know how he's doing. Joseph Henderson, Facebook. I won't spend $1,000 on fireworks, but I have no problem with those that do. It allows grown-ups to act like kids with money. I ain't saying it's wrong. I am fascinated, curious by it. That has never been a thing. It was never a thing in our family. It was never a thing for me growing up. It's never been a thing for me as an adult. But I hear tales of people spending like $10,000 on, personal fireworks shows. Knock yourself out if you can do it. But I am intrigued on the expenditure. We won't spend $100 on it. We won't spend 50. Now my son will probably spend half his paycheck. We didn't raise him right. Meanwhile, back in the United Supermarkets chat line, where you cannot buy fireworks at United Supermarkets, but you can buy everything else that goes with your 4th of July celebrations. Bill Evan Buckner never struck out more than twice in a game in his career. Is that true? Did Bill Buckner never? I don't know. That's true. Maybe it is. Wendy talking about favorite first baseman Frank Thomas, Chicago White Sox, Auburn Tigers fullback. The big hurt. I mean, no, that's like really what they called him. It was okay. He was the big hurt. We're under fire. We under on fireworks unless my cable bill counts where I be watching them from the couch. If you still got cable, you may spend over $1,000 in July on that. Kudos for getting Shahan before any of the other tech YouTube channel. Did we have him before? I don't know. We had him last, what was that, Wednesday or Thursday? I can't remember which night. I don't know if we had him before, but, and again, thanks for saying that. And I want to thank him again for coming on. And I wanted to do an interview with him that would not focus on tech football or NIL or any of that stuff, but his experience in Lubbock. Thank you for the kind words, but it was Shahan who made it possible and was awesome. Alan, I get my news from Bino Cook. Bino Cook. I don't need to know about more than 12 teams. I really don't need to. I only need to know Bino Cook, Notre Dame, Yale, Navy, Army, Alabama. That's college football. Sometimes Arkansas and Texas. I can't do Bino Cook voice anymore. God rest Bino Cook. Somebody should do like an unreal Bino Cook impersonation somewhere. That'd be funny. I mean, people would like that, you know. David Carr, I picked the wrong day to peruse the comments. Okay, so we're specifically focusing on national outlets, not local TV, not Red Raider Nation. Don't get bent. We're specifically talking about the sports media outlets. And I should have put national in there, but headlines and slug lines, you only get so many, so it's hard to do. National stuff. Now, we all know you go to Red Raider Nation. If you want to see every freaking touchdown pass that Graham Harrell ever threw, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, lasted 14 minutes of my lifetime watching that video that you put together, David. We all know you go to RedRaidersports.com on YouTube, Facebook, and the website that, well, don't go to the YouTube channel for KMAC because nobody's updating that thing anymore. Whoever was doing that got fired, you know, they got just totally taken out. Alan Bino went to his grave before recognizing the statehood of Arizona. They're a state, not a territory. I don't believe it. Meanwhile, greatest first baseman, your favorite first baseman of all time, Mark Grace, Chicago Cubs. See, he was post 84, so he's 89 and end of the 90s. Yeah, Mark McGuire, the eve of destruction, Tino Martinez, and Will Clark. Out of those, I would probably go, man, are we talking like guys we like or like best? Doesn't matter. Hold on. I had a button. It messed everything up. Let's see, JC on YouTube channel, Ryan Heights Raiderland. Everybody on YouTube, please hit subscribe, hit like, share, get us over 500. Will Clark, watch and enjoyed from Quakes to Rangers there, 89 World Series. I walked into my dorm room at Texas Tech in October of 1989 and had been at the radio station and walked back in thinking that we were going to turn on the TV to see the World Series. And I turned it on literally like 2 minutes after they had come back from the power outage. and Al Michaels and the crew are doing damage assessment basically and trying to figure out what the hell's going on. I'm thinking, all I can think of in my radio state of mind at the time, man, their audio really sucks. You know, ABC, the audio should be better. Absolutely should be better. The audio sucks on this. Dwayne back on our Facebook. No, pardon me, YouTube, whatever it is. I can't even keep up. Spent $50 on fireworks, $0. No, my neighbors spent about $20,000 on a fireworks show. It's a war zone and kind of scares me. I live in San Antonio, by the way. Now, I've had some friends in Lubbock who said, you know, it's like Mogadishu after dark back in the day. Meanwhile, back at your favorite first baseman of all time, greatest first baseman. We're talking baseball. Willie Mickey and the Duke. Collier, what was the guy who did the song? Talking baseball. Terry Cashman. Thanks. You don't have to look it up now. Harmon Killebrew, and then a Boog Powell for the Orioles. Are you that old? I mean, you got to be like a 60s into a 70s guy for Killebrew, and then Boog Powell, who I don't know if he still has a barbecue place at Oriole Park in Camden Yards, but he literally, when they opened it, they had Boog Powell's, you know, like baseline barbecue deal, and he'd actually go out there and make barbecue. I'm not going to say anything whether he's alive or dead because I have a tendency to kill off people prematurely. Scott, maybe Tech Baseball should get our all Big 12 freshman softball third baseman who is now in the portal. Girl makes all conference, and look at what that gets you. Which one? I thought the portal closed. Did we have one today that I don't know about? Is that Lindemuth? I can't remember even which one it is. Thought we were talking about Brazilian soccer. Brazilian something. I was about to read that the wrong way. JC, you had best Sheehan. We know the football side. You focus on the cool stuff. Well, thanks. And that was what I wanted to do, and we tried to do that. And the first time I read the column, the article, that's what jumped out at me. Not the football, not the NIL, but somebody looking at my West Texas, my Lubbock, my South Plains through fresh lenses and you know, being able in a very profound way to articulate it. Over under for Don Williams on his first question growl he does before asking the question 2.5. Which one is that? Hey, help me out, Alan. Where are we going? Why is Don asking questions? Get my sports from the Dan Patrick Show. Well, God bless you. I'm sure you'll be able to catch up with proper shows and everything else in due time. It won't take long. The long goodbye of Dan Patrick, the long shuffle to, I'm going to retire. I'm not going to do it anymore. Somebody give me a sports Emmy. God bless Dan and the Danettes. All right, a few more minutes left with you tonight. Which sports outlets, media outlets, do you gravitate to for college football coverage? National, so David Carter doesn't get all bent out of shape at Red Raider Nation and KMIC 28. The national ones. Which ones do you go to? National writers, national whatever. Where do you go? Where do you get it? Now, the younger ones in our audience, you guys are used to doing this over the last 5, 10, 15 years that it is spread out so much. You have so many places you can go. You can pick, choose a la carte. A la carte? A la carte. Is it a la carte? I think it's a la carte. Like going to Furs, right? So where do you go? Who do you think covers college football the best now? Or is it so fragmented? And I was going to posit this earlier, and here we are with just a few minutes left, and I finally get to the positing point that it's so fragmented that really, actually, maybe nobody does it great. They do it different. They do it segmented. but there is no singular, awesome, the best, hands down coverage outlet anymore. Have we fragmented our broadcast nature so much that it becomes so niche that to have a big umbrella like what we're talking about here, that maybe that's not anymore. That the better application is to look at all of the different places you can go and get it and say, I like this here, I like this here, I like this here. I've got a la carte. We got mac and cheese, got green beans, collard greens, mashed potatoes, brown gravy, fried okra, corn, and then I've got a couple of entrees, and we do that. You know, like when we begin to approach media consumption and even rating media consumption now, we have to take a look at it from a fresh angle. John Harris. Well, tell you what, schoolboy football tonight, Estacado at Friendship. Love John. We need a national outlet that originates from corner bars. Didn't Portnoy try to do that? I think a couple have tried to do that. National College Football, CBS, and VSiN. Betting sites literally have best unbiased. All right, so yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I pay attention to my friends at VSiN, Vegas Sports and Information Network. You will get information, you will get stats, you will get analysis, you will get things that have no bias on, hey, we love this conference or these teams or whatever. It is totally about your wallet. And when it's totally about your wallet, you get a different angle. And that's one of the reasons why I love paying attention to my friends and my host at VSiN. I'm privileged to have been on a couple of the shows, and they've had me on a few times and doing different things. But yeah, if you don't listen to VSiN and you think, oh, well, it's only, I don't gamble, I don't do anything. No, you're missing out. But really, hey, JC, don't tell people, because I'm one of the few sports media people that actually pays attention to them, and it gives me an edge. It gives me an angle on sports that I think a lot of my brethren don't have. Do you think radio and podcast type personalities have more time for quality versus quantity TV? All right. So, James, this is a great question. This is where I hope Collier is still on the line. If you can hear my voice, just tap the key twice. So it's not so much quantity on TV. They're limited by time. You can only get so much in. And if we're strictly talking TV, you can only get so much in 3.5, 4 minutes, 2.5 minutes some night, depending on what weather wants. And then you've got the video component. You got to have the video. But what you're seeing, all right, son, if you can tap that key twice, what I need you to do is radio in the coordinates, and we'll bring in that airstrike on your position. Roger that. This is Alpha Bravo. Roger that, Alpha Bravo. So your local TV is constrained by two things: time and video. But, and I'm not trying to talk over Collier here, what they are beginning to access and understand and do more of is exactly what David Collier is doing and has been doing over the last several years. More on social media. Not a moron on social media. That's another local sportscaster who's a moron on social media. But no, more on social media, where you can go and do every Graham Harrell touchdown pass and put it out there, link to it, and have it, that you can't do on a 6 and 10 newscast, that you can have a more in-depth interview and put it out there on your Facebook, on your YouTube page, on your Twitter X, all those things. And I think nobody's done a better job of that and understand that than David Collier over the last several years. Just ask Dearest Mother. Robert, I will use exactly no money on fireworks. We understand. Oh, we totally do. All right. In my adult life, and this would be college when Bagwell came up, and we were roughly the same age. He's a little bit older than me. Bagwell. Before that, Eddie Murray. Pick out your guys in the 70s, but Eddie Murray. I don't know why I liked Eddie Murray. I liked a lot of the Oriole players, and I don't know why. For the Rangers, Mike Hargrove, the human rain delay, then Pete O'Brien into the 70s. I hated Will Clark as an individual. So after that, nothing. Bob Watson was the guy we were looking for you guys to go with in the 70s for the Astros. Come on. Anybody see the Bad News Bears? Anybody see that? You could go Glenn Davis and Berkman after that. I mean, there were so many good first basemen growing up. It's hard to really narrow it down. Real quick. So I had never seen Eddie Murray play until 1994 when the Indians are playing at Texas, first year of the ballpark in Arlington. We're there for the second or third home set. I can't remember. It's April, mid to late April in 1994. So it's the Orioles, the Indians and the Rangers. Eddie Murray's playing for the Indians. He's taking infield. Now, Eddie Murray is well known for being disdainful of the media, all of these things. So I'm down there because we got there at like 2 in the afternoon. Staked out the TGI Fridays, front row grill up there in right field over the home run porch. I mean, we're set. I've got that, and then we're like, all right, we're in, and I'm going to go down there. And I got my Pentax K1000 taking pictures and enjoying this. And Murray's taking infield. And I'm right there down the first base line. I mean, not, however many feet from the lowest level of the stands to first base where Murray's taking infield. And I'm taking a picture. And I have this picture. And to this day, we cannot tell whether he was flipping me off or giving me a salute off his cap. He's looking dead into my camera, looking at me, and giving me one of the and to this day I hope that he flipped me off, because that would be perfect Eddie Murray. Rangers went out and won that night. Kenny Rogers gets the win. Doug Strange homers to the home run porch. They're down the right field line, but to the lower deck, we were in the upper deck. Can we not have some love for Tom Amansky, 5-time national champions? Tom Amansky, baseball school. Fred McGriff, the crime dog, take a bite out of baseballs. Did anyone ever order a video from Tom Amansky? To be in New York City in the late 80s and early 90s, Keith Hernandez and Don Mattingly, what a treat. Donnie Baseball, my favorite first baseman of all time. I think Don Williams actually was a Mattingly fan. I think so. What Collier does is an art form vastly different from long form interviews, creating an arc to follow most episodes, etc., which is your art form as new media. Collier, I hope you saw that. I hope you did, because that's the ender right there. That's as good as it's going to get tonight. We ask you to do a couple of things. Share this on your social media feeds. All right? At Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on YouTube and on Facebook. Subscribe to all of our platforms. They're all free. Please share it. Freaking YouTube. I mean, we're like this close to 500 subscribers. I can't tell you what it does for our advertisers, for our clients, for everything else when we hit 500. It's beguiling me that we're just like here. And we blew by that on all the other platforms a long time ago. YouTube has been a mystifying, moderately frustrating experience for us. I mean, we're still going to hammer away on it. But my gosh. Hey, take a second. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, and you can watch wherever you want to watch. All right. We're going to, end the show here, which is what we do. We'll post it on the website, theraiderland.com. We're back with you in the morning. It's What If Wednesday. Brought to you by the Shropshire Agency. We ask an alternate history what if question. Hey, if you've got Shropshire insurance, you don't have to worry about what if when things happen. They've got you taken care of at Shropshire Insurance of Texas. Which button do I hit now? Larry, where's my intern? Larry, is it the red one? It is the red one? Thanks, Larry.